watching this. Showtime has now announced that they will launch a standalone service
Oh
in
my gosh.
2015. I love it when I'm right. I, for one, cannot wait to see how it looks because they have actually a bunch of shows. I think what is it called, Penny Dreadful? Oh, I love that show. The first
Mm-hmm.
episode I saw was really. I hope that the rest of the episodes are as good as the very first one. Anyway, I'll definitely get it for a month or two just to see what they have on it. But anyway, it's hard for me not to gloat. I'm like giggling. I'm giggling inside right now because it's like it's this thing that I've been waiting to happen. This tipping point for people to drop packaged cable. 2015 is definitely the year it's going to begin.
I wish you hadn't said tipping point. Now we owe Malcolm Gladwell $25.
I don't think he's trademarked the term. Because I think if he tried, I think that there are some epidemiologists that would be suing him. Anyway,
I think we'd tip him off the point of
over
No, don't even get me started on Malcolm Gladwell.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. I started.
Right.
This is my turn. So 2015 is going to be a very, very interesting year for indie TV. And mark my words, here is the next stage of my predictions, which so far have been right, although a little tardy. If you are a billionaire or a millionaire, or even if you just have some money to invest, I highly suggest you start to look for a solid independent series or maybe sort of a package of series with a particular production company to fund and get them ready to put on the market by mid to late 2015 or early 2016, because once this cable tipping point really kicks into gear, I promise you the indie TV market is going to explode. It's going to go completely bananas. It's not going to be overnight, but I guarantee you as soon as a couple of these things, this is the thing, is that Showtime and HBO, they're launching these standalone streaming services. Probably everybody, I mean, CBS is already doing it too.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to do it. USA, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be looking for content. Every single one of these standalone, and some of them will be like, it's going to be a freaking bloodbath. I'm telling you. I mean, it could be, you could be the beneficiary of that.
Yeah.
Because every single one of these services is going to be starved for content, and they're going to try to get it exclusive, and maybe they won't be able to get it exclusive, maybe able to get sort of semi-exclusive, like they have a couple. We don't know. Any deal in the world that you're going to be able to create, you're going to be able to create. So anyway, that is the next stage in my prediction. Indie TV market's going to blow up. Get in on it. If you got money, if you don't have money and you're just like an artist like us, find this content. Seek out this content. And anyway, that is my prediction.
It's so funny that you're talking about this right now, and that this is going on right now, because for the last week, this Matt Hunt, by now, I mean, basically friend of the show.
I don't know him as well as his brother Mike.
Yeah, no, his
Homies.
brother Mike's a good guy.
Good guy, solid guy.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, I went there. No, but Matt, a buddy of mine, and by now friend of the show. We are developing a series. We are developing a series right now that we want to make in April, and like the more updates I hear about HBO and now Showtime and everything, the more I'm just like,
Yeah. We're developing one. We're developing at least one, and we make movies. But I would love sort of a package. Honestly, I would love like a whole series. I mean,
I heard you like a nice big. No, sorry, God.
Wow.
I'm such a child. Sorry.
You are a child.
It's usually me.
I had so much pent-up energy after you said tardy in the middle of your speech. It was just so I wanted to go. That's a very offensive term to anybody who actually is. Anyway.
Tardy? It means late. What are you talking about?
I know, but it's like, because it kind of sounds like tard. Anyway.
Wow.
I just have so many pent-up jokes. You guys don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how many jokes I don't say. I restrain myself from saying. You're very lucky.
Yeah, neither of us.
I'm going to stop and let you two carry on with this discussion. Just until I'm just going to go.
Well, what the funny thing is
Garrett, how much coffee did you have this morning? I'm interested.
Much. I've actually been up since 3:30, so I have had a lot of coffee.
The funny thing
crazy
is,
eye rocking.
Yeah.
The funny thing is about this particular, sort of trend that is, it has been happening for years, and sort of one of my mentors, all he doesn't know it. Or is mentor the right term for somebody that you admire? No, probably
Role
not.
model?
Role model. One of my a guy that I listen to a lot, and I read a lot of what he writes, etc. Mark Suster. He runs both sides of the table. I've talked about him a lot.
Yeah.
He has been talking about this for years and years, since I think 2010, maybe even 2009. He's been talking about this. I mean, he put his money where his mouth is when he started investing in Maker Studios, and has, I'm sure, benefited some. I don't know the details, but I know that Maker Studios is doing really well. Disney bought him, etc. So he knows what he's talking about. He's already made money off of it. But I think that the trend is continuing. I don't think that YouTube is the end all be all. You know, I think that he's kind of got his money and maybe gotten out, maybe not, maybe he's still looking around, I don't know, but I think it's still continuing, because I still see that gap that I've talked about so much of the time between YouTube and sort of the mainstream market. There's a big monetary gap.
Huge.
People are trying to fill in. Vimeo's trying to fill it in. VHX, PivotShare, Yekra, even to some degree YouTube, and honestly even to some degree Hulu and Netflix. They're just, no one has really quite figured it out, and I really, really think that these standalone services.
Let's not forget about them.
Sorry, say again?
Amazon's limping along. Let's not forget about them.
Dude, yeah, but they've been losing money. I did not know this, but they've actually been losing money for the past couple of years, which is, I mean, they got more money than God, but the fact, I think, anyway, this is basically their sieve. This is like the place where all the money's dripping out for them. They don't have a hand. They're not players yet. They have the money to be, but anyway. Oh, Matt's going to kill me with a spoon. I don't know if that's
I think he was talking to me. He might have been talking to me.
I think he's talking about the Mike Hunt thing.
Yep. So that's probably me. Anyway, sorry about that. It's just I can't help myself. But I think,
sorry, go ahead.
Wait, I'm sorry. My point is that I've been seeing this trend coming, and I've been talking about it, and but now that it's coming, I feel like I can see the specifics. I feel like I can see how it's going to, you know what I mean? Now that HBO and Showtime are right around the corner, about to drop, I can see that this is where it's going to happen. I mean, it can also, listen, PivotShare, Yekra, Vimeo, these other guys might be able to find their way into it. I just don't know. Maybe somebody else, but definitely HBO and Showtime are going to be at the top of that list. And any of the regular cable networks that start to put their own standalone service, these guys are going to be the tip of the spear, is what I predict.
Absolutely.
I mean, so here's the question as far as like budget is concerned, and as far as like production value. I mean, when they become standalone networks, I mean, do you, and yeah, I think it's great that the indie TV market is gonna become huge. But like, do you anticipate that like the overall production value / budget of shows on these networks, on these standalone networks, is gonna go down?
No.
Obviously, no, not the tent poles, but they'll be snapping up stuff like Deadbeat. I don't know if you ever saw Deadbeat on Hulu. It wasn't like the production values were.
Come on, it was absolutely not fantastic. It looked like, you know,
there will be,
but look what Netflix is doing. I see people are going to bring the networks series, like their own series, right. Like me and Matt, we're going to do a series, right. We're going to bring it, we're going to be like, hey, and if they are interested and they buy it, they'll then go, hey, what else have you got?
I don't know about that, though. I think they might buy it outright, and that's honestly what I think. I think that it'll depend. I think that the quality will, obviously I think Showtime, HBO, the bigger guys are not going to want to kind of soil their they're not going to want to buy things that have awful production values. But you look at a lot of the stuff that's on Hulu. I mean, they buy up a ton of stuff, and people actually like some of these things. You know, sure. So I think that it's going to be anything is going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Some of the bigger guys at the top of the list, they're probably going to keep their hands as clean and have the production values as in shape as possible. But I think that there's going to be some breakout shows, and this is where I think it's really going to explode.
That's what I was trying to say, Chad. You totally interrupted me and cock-blocked my whole point.
Go ahead.
I think people are going to bring original content that's maybe not going to be to the level of, let's say, House of Cards, or even Orange is the New Black, which is not as production quality impressive as House of Cards, but we're going to be bringing them things that are not at that level, but that are good. And they're going to be like, yeah, okay, we'll give you whatever we're going to give you for that. They buy the series, they put it up. If that thing then explodes, then you're going to see, they always fund their own original content. There will always be the Netflix original series, the Hulu original productions, and that will. I see us being able to break into that production sphere by bringing our own stuff that maybe isn't as high quality as their original series, but that brings the audience. And then they're like, you can bring a fucking audience? Here you go. Here's your production quality.
Absolutely.
Right.
This will be sort of the off Broadway. Well, no, but I mean, Alpha House is a big money thing. I'm talking about a low money thing that somebody puts together and with low production values, but the story's there, the acting is there, and it will blow up, and it will be 1 out of 100, and because of it, or 1,000 for all, or 10,000, it'll be 1, but it'll blow up so big, it'll be in the news that suddenly financiers and production companies and everything are going to start flooding that market. Until that happens, it's open season right now, and a smart investor is going to be looking for these things because they're going to be looking at this gap that I'm talking about and realize that it's going to have to fill in. You're going to have to fill the gap. The gap will be filled.
Okay, I'm just restraining.
Really?
I think that's a good ending point for that segment, and I'm actually going to make an executive